Let's make a pattern, or rather a texture, out of a photograph. Now this is a bit tricky, but it's quite doable. Here we have rocks. Now the key is if we wanted these rocks to look exactly like this at the end rather than however it happens to turn out, then it's pretty hard. And we'll do another one in a little bit where we take samples of images and reassemble it all, but let's not do that. We're just going to focus on a texture. Let me break out this assignment. It looks like we're going to be doing 2" by 2" patterns at 150 pixels per inch. So I'm just going to make a file new, set this to inches, 2 by 2 inches at 150 pixels, standard everything else, RGB color mode, 8-bit, white background's fine, it doesn't matter. We're not going to manage the document, but if we were, it would be the sRGB IEC 1966-2.1. We'll talk about that later. But not for this course, not for this assignment. It's not important. Now, a heads up on this is an easy thing to mess up on and I forget a lot. If you were to grab a section of this, any section, and paste this in, even if it's like the whole thing, and then you paste it down and you transformed it so that it shrank it down a whole lot, which could be good so that you don't end up with too many repeating bits. This looks pretty random. Now humans look for patterns. If we see like one bright dot in here, then we'll assume that we'll lock in on that and we'll start trying to figure out that one bright dot everywhere and will cause us a lot of problems. Okay, this could work. All right, so I press enter and then I move about my business, but when I do the pattern offset, there's an issue. There's a lot more to this layer than is in this window. We really need it to be cut down to this square so that when we do the offset, this edge to this edge will repeat across. I forget to do this sometimes and will absolutely mess you up, so don't forget like I do. Get the crop tool and then just press enter. Now, why will this work? With the crop tool, you have this option, delete cropped pixels. So everything past this, boom, is now gone. So it's been cropped, it's cropped away. If I control click now, look, that's it. I loaded the selection, there is no more. So if I were to come in with the move tool, ta-da, it's good to go. But that does it to all the layers. So now we could see that, sure enough, it's they're all cropped, which is great. Let me get rid of this one. I want to work with the smaller one. So let's say I'm ready to go. This has a little bit of a weird blur in it, so that might be to our advantage. Let's say I'm ready to go. I'm going to do one thing though. I'm going to duplicate this and hide it away for later. You might need it. I'm going to go to Filter, Other, Offset, which while destructive can be undone because it is just an offset. Start at 0. I'm not seeing a seam. It's got to be in here somewhere, right? There it is. All right. Yep, right there. And let's move down. We should see an X. And right there. Wow, that's hard to spot. This is going to be a great one. It's going to be great. All right, so let's save what we have so far. We'll call this stone texture or pebble texture. So we've got our pebble texture. And, oh man, this is really hard to spot. Oh, there it is. Okay, so normally what you do, can I even see it? Would this just work? Nope, there it is. Wait, yeah. What? It's really hard to tell. Let's just make this a texture real quick. Oh, I'm on the wrong one, that's why. There we go. All right, there it is. I can see this line. So it's really hard to tell. But like I said, if you're not concerned with it looking the same at the end as it is as it began, it's an easy enough fix. Let me just grab the patch tool. And I will draw around the line, the seam. Let me do a better job of that. Trying to get around these rocks. And carefully. Okay, set it to the source. Find some more rocks. Let it do its blending magic. There we go. So that seems taken care of. Here is another segment. And again. Notice how it shaded it. That's fine. We're not going to worry about that because, like I said, we're just reproducing a texture. We're not trying to make it exactly the same. Try to line it up a bit. Oh, I don't like that. Don't like that either. See, I don't want it to be that dark as it goes through. Why do I don't want to use pattern. Why did I click that? All right, I'm going to just lower the diffusion down a lot. Don't like that dark patch. Let's just line that up. Don't like that either. Maybe this. There we go. All right, that's better. I don't want any sudden dark spots appearing because then we'll lock in on that when we actually look at this. Same with, you don't want any really bright or dark spots. You want it to look like the rest of the image. You want it to blend in. All right, let's do an offset filter. Oh, before we do, let's be super safe. Grab the crop tool, delete crop pixels, just press enter a couple times. There we go. So if there are any pixels left over from when I was using the patch tool, it won't mess this up. Filter offset. Where's the seam now? If I offset it a couple of times, I think it's here. It's actually really hard for me to spot. Let's just quickly, let's just quickly go edit, define pattern, and tell it okay. And we'll come back to this big wallpaper. This will be perfect. Well, because this one, if we go to image size, you'll see it's massive in comparison. It's like 1900 by 1200 pixels, and this little thing is only like 300 by 300 pixels. So let's make a quick adjustment layer with pattern. Oh, that's pretty good, but you can see this blob of light color right here. And I believe that matches up with what? Oh man, it's hard to see. Let's see where it goes in. Blob of white color, where are you? Wow, it is right here. That section is too light. This section right here. So let's darken that up. I'm going to come in with the lasso tool. Oh, let's do a better job of that. I'm going to switch it over to the quick select, or what do they call this? The quick select, whatever. It is, I'm forgetting the name. Edit in quick mask mode. There we go. All right, and that means that I could just deselect, and then with my brush, oh, I still have smoothing on some high percentage, which is going to cause me problems. Now with my brush, I can just go in and actually select a handful of pebbles, and then deselect pebbles as necessary, until I just have the culprits, these super bright areas. All right, and now I don't need these layers anymore. Just gonna throw them away. Okay, and get out of there. Let's hide this for a second. Control H, zoom out. Control L. You know what? Cancel. I'm going to duplicate this since I'm going to do a destructive level edit. And just darken this a bit. Okay. Control A, just out of paranoia. Old versions used to require you to select all. And I'm going to do an edit, define pattern. Okay, and now I'm going to fill it. Edit, fill. I just thought of a much easier way to do this. I should have just edited it right on this screen. But that actually worked. So what did I mean by I should have edited it right on the screen? Well, I mean, oh, I shouldn't have filled it. Hold on. Let's make a new adjustment layer. Adjustment layer pattern. I don't know why I did the fill. There we go. So what if I wanted to, my eyes can't even see it anymore. I've been staring at this too long. Actually, I think that did the trick. So what do I mean by if I wanted, yeah, that did the trick. Well, I know that this square that I had copied and pasted from the original is the original, you know, in that I copied it and I pasted it. So I could have come into this single square and then come in here and done the selection back when I could see the problem because it was repeating, done my little levels adjustment. And then once I had the levels adjustment, control click to select layer, control C, paste it back over here. And then boom, I could just go in and set the pattern with edit pattern. So that's would have been the better way to do it. So select all, copy it, paste it over on a bigger document where you can see all of the errors occurring. Like maybe this area should be darker. So you'd come in on the original by going, let's go to the original, which is not this one. Go into the original, Control A, Control C, Control V. So this spot is clearly too bright. Now I can edit it right here. Get my lasso tool. Okay, and then I just do Control L. Darken it a little bit. Okay, Control click to select this square. So hard to see. Let me turn these off. See how I've got the marching ants? It's Control clicked, Control C, Control V on the original document here. Edit, define pattern, pop back over, adjustment layer, pattern, go. Whoops, no mask though. There we go. I see a little bit of darkness here now, so I can correct that as well. Now, how would I do that? Same process. Go back to the current layer, Control A, Control C, Control V, it's in the corner. This dark part right here is too dark. So I would just go in and I would select it with my quick select. And then I'd make this nice and fuzzy by lowering the hardness. So that's the same thing as feathering and selection. Okay, got my selection, pop out of there, Control L. Oh, I have the wrong thing selected, cancel, Control Shift I to invert the selection, Control L. And I just want that a little bit lighter. Okay, Control click on the layer, Control C, Control V, edit, define pattern. Okay, and adjustment layer, pattern. Wrong one. Adjustment layer, pattern. It's probably time to clean up some of these patterns. Just right click and delete the pattern so that you can get it down to the ones that are working. And okay. That's weird. I thought that oh, right. No mask. The selection's messing me up. Delete that. There we go. Much lighter, much better. I'd probably go back in one more time and clean this up, but I think you get the idea. We're running up to 15 minutes on this, and you got some more to go over. But I would get this little dark patch as well, and that's easy enough. Again, just go in, mask it, level it, and then you're done, and you've got the whole thing done. So you can, if you zoom out a whole lot, you can see the dark patch showing up everywhere. Totally want to clear that up. In fact, you can skip to the next video if you'd like at this point, but I'm going to clean that up because it's bothering me so much. So I'm going to get rid of all of this stuff. Delete all of that. Come over here, Control click, copy that. I don't want any of these. Get out of here. All right, Control V. Oops, that's not where I wanted that. Control D. V, here it is. Okay, Control click. This might be a bit tricky. Offsetting it might be necessary before we can get to it. So let's do go back to the original, do a filter, other, offset. Set both of these to 0, 0. Yeah, it's just a little off. It's this patch. Okay, lasso tool. Deselect lasso tool. Okay, and quick mask and brush. Oops, X. 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 Just to flip it, X. Actually, X. Let's get that one. X. X. Okay. Just want the dark ones. Okay. Control L. Oh, wait, destructive edit, so copy the layer. Control L. And lighten it up a little bit. Okay. Control D. Before, after. Ah, much better. Edit, Control D to make sure it's deselected. Edit, define pattern. Okay. I'm going to save. Edit, or click over to the next one. And just make a new pattern. Oh, much better. There's a little bit of a light spot right here that needs to be cleaned up, but otherwise this looks pretty good. All right, let's close that up. We don't need to save on that. Let's save this one. We've got our pattern, but I'm going to go into the patterns real quick just by going to the pattern, pop this out, and delete this one. We don't need it anymore. All right, and there, tell it okay. Save and close. That's 2 patterns. Let's do one more kind of neat trick, and then we'll do the big nasty forever one that takes forever to do. All right, see you next video.